Well, good morning, everybody. 6 o'clock here on your Tuesday morning. We appreciate you starting your day with us here on Sunrise. Jason and Alicia with you this morning.
Yeah, last day of February. Are you going to be March here soon? Spring is this month.
I can smell the flowers blooming.
Can you?
No, not really. I think that's just pollen getting into my nose.
Oh, we have to look forward to that, though, because, Guy, we have a few weather days ahead of us. Yikes.
Right. And tonight is when we kick off another round of snow that will last into the morning drive tomorrow. So this morning, we'll find mainly a peaceful commute in. We could have some isolated slick spots out there due to yesterday's rain and the refreezing, but tomorrow morning, we'll find some heavy snow right over the Twin Cities during the morning rush, so that will slow things down. Temperatures are in the low 20s. You have clear skies this morning, and it actually feels like the current air temperature just because wind speeds are so light. So it'll be nice to see some sunshine today. Maybe grab the sunglasses on the commute in. You may not need the sunglasses later on because by afternoon, we'll have mostly cloudy skies. Winter weather advisories posted will go in effect this evening through tomorrow afternoon. Accumulating snow, that will bring impacts for your drive tomorrow, so I'll continue to track that out.
All right, thank you, Guy. This morning, though, not dealing with any slow, still some slick roads, though. The good thing here, though, not seeing many crashes. We just have one spin out on the map to talk about. That's here in Minneapolis. It's actually the ramp from 35W northbound to Hennepin. They moved off there to the side of the road, the right-hand side of the road, working on that. At one point, though, they spun out right about here. So those ramps still super slick this morning. You're going to want to watch for that again. Alicia.
We all need the reminders, Jen, thank you. And as winter presses on, be sure to download our free KARE 11 weather app. It'll help you stay ahead of any snow heading our way, as well as any storm that hits any time of the year. You can find it wherever you purchase your apps.
To your headlines now. In just a matter of hours, St. Paul community members will come together to talk about school safety.
Yeah, CC's live at Washington Technology Magnet School, where the meeting will be held later today. CC?
Hi, good morning, guys. Yeah, the meeting you're talking about starts at 4:30 tonight. It's open to everyone. It's a chance for community members to come here and give recommendations about school safety. Now, school leaders will take those recommendations and then try to come up with some solutions to help improve school safety in St. Paul. Now, many in the community say kids really just don't feel safe anymore. Ramsey County Sheriff Bob Fletcher says the killing of Devin Scott and shooting at his funeral reception may be part of a long-running conflict that stems from the murder of a 16-year-old last October. Community members say the traditional gangs that once existed are now more like cliques, and the fights are turning deadly. Leaders like Mickey Frost, who founded St. Paul's Truth Center, are now coming together to figure out how to deal with the continuing violence.
An organization such as my own cannot do it alone. The police department cannot do it alone. The school board and the system cannot do it alone. We all need to learn to do some things together.
Coming up in about 30 minutes, we take a closer look at how Mickey's organization is really trying to create a safe space for kids. Jason, Alicia.
All right, CC in St. Paul for us. Thank you.
And I recently sat down with therapists and some Twin City teens to dig deeper into the violence happening in our schools, their unique perspective on what's going on and how to prevent it. I'll have that story coming up at 6:16. Well, in just a few hours here, a judge will sentence Cody Forencam for the murder of 15-year-old Deshaun Hill. Hill was shot and killed last February while walking down a sidewalk on Glenwood Avenue. That's when he and Forencam accidentally brushed shoulders. Investigators say Forencam pulled a handgun and fired 3 or 4 shots at Hill. Last month, a jury found Forencam guilty of second-degree murder. He faces up to 40 years in prison.
Minnesota's budget surplus is still at a record $17.5 billion, even if you calculate the impact of inflation across the next 2 years. Twice a year, the state's financial gurus pull out the charts and all the graphs and talk about the direction of the economy. We're talking about fiscal 2024-25, a 2-year budget cycle that begins this July and runs through June of 2025. That figure, $17.5 billion, would be higher, except now it includes inflation, which knocked the number down a little bit, but still leaves plenty of room for the governor's spending goals.
To continue to invest in things that we know we need to, roads and bridges, but also to invest in that resource of our children, making sure that Minnesota is the best place in the country to raise a child.
This morning, House and Senate Republicans will pitch their ideas, giving back most of the surplus through tax relief. They're likely to suggest cutting the basic income tax rates in Minnesota. Also at the Capitol, a bill was just introduced in the House that would lay out ticket pricing fees up front. This comes on the heels of the Taylor Swift Ticketmaster fiasco, which the bill's author talked about.
I was a mad woman after the TS ticketing debacle. My family told me to shake it off, and others said, you need to calm down. However, this is me trying to do something positive about the situation. And some may say that this is just a champagne problem, but I think a bipartisan effort could bring together the left and the right in a love story that benefits Minnesota's consumers.
She's definitely a fan. The bill was drafted using similar laws already in place in New York and Nevada. It has bipartisan support and is continuing through the committee process.
During the pandemic, the government offered financial support for people struggling, but now that help is coming to an end.
I'm Jennifer Hoff. Thousands of families will see a big hit to their monthly food benefits. Extra SNAP benefits put in place during the pandemic end next month. It essentially increased a household's benefit to its maximum amount. So, in some cases, raising the benefit from $23 to $280. The House and Senate have passed a new bill to provide $5 million in emergency funding to our food shelves that last year reported 200 million more visits than 2021. That's a record in Minnesota that experts say will only go up without more long-term solutions.
Have you looked at your car insurance rates lately? A new study from Bankrate says that they're going up on average about 14%. For Minnesotans, that means they're paying more than $1,700 a year, the sixth highest in the nation when you consider the cost of living. Experts tell us more claims, costs with crashes, crash intensity, higher auto shop prices, and catalytic converter thefts all are contributing to these increases. And the biggest problem, people dropping their coverage.
If people drop coverage, then what happens is you might see more uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage claims, and that means people that do have insurance have to pay more to make up for the people that drop their coverage.
And a reminder, it is illegal in Minnesota to drop liability coverage, but collision and comprehensive insurance is not required. Dropping those options can save you a few $100, but experts say you should only do it in certain situations. Well, hey, if you're still parking in one of the 5 Minneapolis lots that you see right here on your screen, you might want to move your car this morning. The city provided free parking to keep the streets clear for snow removal. That ends today. So if you haven't yet, move your car if you don't want to get ticketed or towed.
Let's talk weather here at 6:08 as we take a live look outside. It's going to be a calm day, beautiful sunrise here today, too, after a wet and icy start to the week. But, Guy, you're tracking even more snow heading our way. We are snowed out, my man.
I
snowed
know.
out.
Some of us may feel depleted from all of this snow, but I will say towards the end of the week, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but this time around at the end of the week. But hey, grab the sunglasses this morning and enjoy the sun for the little bit of time we'll see the sun today. We'll find increasing clouds later on this afternoon, and then the snow moves in tonight. Clear skies, 21, that's the feel-like temp as well, so no wind chills here for us in the Twin Cities. But that's not the case everywhere. So coming up in about 10 minutes, I'll dive into metro wind chills. A few snow showers making their way into the southwestern corner of the state. The rest of us quiet. Let's back out. You can see our next weather maker that will slow us down tomorrow morning for the drive. This is how things are shaping up. Disorganized right now. You got a little bit of moisture in the northern Rockies and across the plains. This will slowly make its way into the state. Later on this afternoon for western Minnesota, we won't find snow until tonight, especially during that 9-10 o'clock hours when things look to kick off. Winter weather advisory is already posted. That will go into effect this evening. So not in effect yet, but will go into effect this evening through tomorrow afternoon, a quick 2 to 4 inches. And when I say quick, this will be a fast mover. Already by tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, we shake the snow, but it will be impactful just because of the timing of this event. Next 12 hours looks like this: sunshine and clouds slowly increase by 3 o'clock to 7. We're already, sundown by 7, but overcast skies by late day. 10 o'clock, snow showers. Look at 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. on this graphic. You got plenty of snow right there. That looks like heavy snow, so we'll find heavy snow right overhead. Here's your 3-day forecast after AM snow. Things quiet for the remainder of the week. There's our light and warmer temperatures. So here's your weather recap. Quiet weather and mostly sunny skies, at least through this afternoon. Accumulating snow tonight through Wednesday. Winter weather advisories this evening through Wednesday afternoon. I'll have a look at your 7-day forecast coming up in 10 minutes. Jen?
Sounds like a plan, guys. 610 right now. The one spin out we had on the map has cleared. That was the ramp from 35W northbound to Hennepin in Minneapolis, of course. As we look, though, at those road conditions, this is why we're keeping an eye on things so closely. Most of the state looking good, right? Green. But then we look at the metro a little bit closer, and we still see some major interstates that are listed as in not great condition. Blue, pink, anywhere you see that. Take it slow, especially, and I know we sound like a broken record here, Jason, but ramps, overpasses, still slick.
You can't say it enough because there's some people out there that aren't listening. So we got to drill that in this morning. Just be careful out there. Jen, thank you. Coming up, I'm sitting down with therapists and some Twin City teens to dig deeper into the violence happening in our schools. That's coming up right after the break. Some really good advice from those therapists.